Modern women tutorials. Chasing a man, or you have to chase a man. There's a big misconception that goes around. I just had some interactions with some ladies trying to argue the idea of not chasing a man, not realizing that it's like, well, one, a man is not a real man, doesn't chase. A real man doesn't chase women. He makes himself valuable, right? He makes himself worthy of the attention of women. And then the women want him. That's simple. If I have to chase, that means I have to go out of my way to get your attention, to talk to you, to try to convince you to like me. You're not going to like me. You're not going to want me. That's pointless. This is why fuckboys, losers, guys out here on the internet complaining that they get rejected. You know why they're getting rejected? Because they're chasing. Can't get rejected if you're not chasing. Guys are being rejected left and right. Why? Because they're chasing something they're not supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to chase. You're supposed to be like a hunter, right? You're supposed to set up a trap, as it were, right? You're supposed to have bait. So here's the thing: if a woman wants a good guy, a good-looking guy, a guy who got his shit together, got money, this, that, and the third, right? Then obviously he needs to be he needs to get his shit together, so that way he would be the bait. A woman will see him like, oh, I see how he treats people. Oh, wait, is that his mother? Oh, him and his mother get along. Oh, these are good qualities. Yes, and that will make her want to come to you. Now, I'm not saying she's going to walk up to you, approach you, and say, how are you doing, and throw a pickup line at you or anything like that. But obviously, she'll try to get your attention. She'll start messing with her hair, this and that. Choosing signals, as they call it. She will try to get your attention. That's the chasing. When I say women have to chase, I'm not talking about y'all literally running after guys, calling guys, texting guys, trying to get a guy's attention who doesn't even want you, which is why he keeps ignoring you, and he just uses you for sex and moves on to the next chick. Oh, wait, what does that sound like? Not a man, that's for sure. That sounds like, there's a word for it. What is it called? Oh, yeah, fuck boy. And that's the funny thing. Y'all ladies chase the fuck boys, but reject the guys who actually do chase you, aka the guys who approach you, who are interested in you. They'll tend to reject them. But the guys who don't approach you, the guys who are not really interested in you, more than just sex, those are the guys that typically don't approach you unless they're really, really thirsty, right? As in, they're like, man, I really, really want to have sex with her, so let me go holler at her, right? And that's the thing. Most women, rephrase that, most females don't realize that most of the guys that they talk to, interact with, are not men. They're guys, yes, they're the male species, but they're not men. Being a man is more than just having a penis, just like being a woman is more than just having a vagina. It's a mental state. You got to know how to be a man. Just like, what's the difference between a good person and a bad person? Is a good person knows how to be good. A bad person doesn't know how to be good. They only know how to be bad. That's the difference. That's how you tell them apart, right? So, to be a good man, or a man in general, because being a man inherently means you're good, and being a woman means inherently you're good, is because you know how to be a man. You know how to be a woman. Same thing as being a husband, or a doctor, or a lawyer, right? Or being a wife, or the president of the United States. These are things you have to learn to be, right? You can't just hope to be these things. You got to learn to be these things. You got to learn to be a man. You got to learn to be a woman. That's why it's really annoying seeing people on the internet, complain about, oh, I don't chase men, or men ain't shit. It's like, that just sounds like you've never met a man. You never interacted with a man. Because, newsflash, if a guy's a real man, he's more likely not going to interact with you. He's definitely not going to be chasing you. Right? He might notice you. He might smile at you, let you know that, hey, I'm approachable. Holler at me. But if you don't talk to him, trust me, another female will. And that's the thing about when I say women supposed to be the ones chasing, because y'all the ones that want relationship. Guys just want sex. So Not saying that we don't appreciate a relationship. It's just that the benefit of a relationship for us is that sex is involved. Once there's no sex in the relationship, then we don't want the relationship, because the relationship doesn't matter to us more than the usefulness of being with you, right? Just like you don't want to be with a guy who has no money, right? Who's broke, who doesn't do nothing with his life, just sits around and does nothing every day, right? You don't want that type of guy. For you, to us, a woman that don't have sex is the same thing as a guy who ain't making money, who's sitting on his ass every day doing nothing with his life. Because it's like, you gotta be useful to us just like you want us to be useful to you. So if you want a man, which is very rare because ain't that many men left in this world, because society prefers males and females, prefer us to fight and argue amongst each other and work. They don't want us to get along. They don't want us to have traditions, morals. They'd rather we be pieces of shit cheating on one another. That's what they want. They prefer fuckboys and 304s. That's why you see that happening out there. That's why you see podcasts literally talking about it. About, oh, females this, females that, men this, men that. Like, because there's this confusion of what a man is and what a male is, and what a woman is and what a female is. There is a difference. We're not the same. Most males are not the same as me. I'm a man, and that's the difference, because I know how to be one. And part of that is being a good person. Another thing is being selfless, not selfish. Most guys are selfish. Just like when you see a lot of these podcasts, like Fresh and Fit, for example, those are selfish guys. So every advice they're giving, everything they're talking about comes from a selfish mindset. They want what they want. This is why they talk about them having multiple chicks, them allowed to cheat on their, girlfriends and wives, and their girlfriends and wives have to be okay with it. That's why they talk about that. I say the opposite. So they love talking about how it's okay for them to cheat, but it's not okay for females to cheat. And it's like, well, that's kind of hypocritical, but okay. That's what y'all want to say. I don't say that. I do say, however, that ladies typically don't care if you, one, have a high body count, and two, if you can cheat, or if you do cheat. Sometimes they're willing to share. Sometimes they're willing to let you cheat, as long as no one else knows that you are. Not saying that it's okay. I'm just saying that there are ladies out there that are okay with that. Right? And vice versa. There's some ladies that are in relationships where the guy is okay with them being with other guys. Hey, to each their own. That's none of my business. That's their relationship dynamic. My main concern is that men and women, or the male and female species, get along. At least learn to coexist, right? If you're not going to be together because y'all rather be strong and independent, don't need each other, fine. Do you. Just clearly no one else is, because you want to be strong and independent and not need nobody else. All right, fine. Then you do what you want to do. Just stop interacting with everyone else who is trying to be together, and stop trying to hate and point and try to be negative of people trying to be together. Right? This is why it's annoying to see ladies complaining about guys, not being interested in them, or not being loyal to them, or this, that, and the third. It's like, but the thing is that those guys are not men. That's why y'all keep having these same issues over and over again. Y'all don't know the difference between a man and a male. You think just because you see a guy that makes him a man, it's like, oh, he's over the age of 18, he's clearly a man. No, he's not. Because saying that is the same thing saying, well, he has a penis, that must mean he's a good person. No, it does not. He's an adult, that means he's a good, responsible human being. No, it does not. He could be an irresponsible adult. He could be a man-child. He could be mentally, handicapped. He can have the mind of a child. He can be childish. Yet you see his body and be like, oh, well, he clearly looks like a man, so he has to be one. No, that's not how that works. You have to be able to do everything. You got to be able to act like a duck, quack like a duck, and look like a duck to truly be a duck. But if you look like a duck, walk like a duck, but quack like you make a cow sound, then it's like, not sure you're a duck. There's something weird there. There's something off. And the problem is most of you ladies tend to pick guys based off of they look like a man, but not that they truly are a man. And that's where y'all get into these issues. Where y'all be complaining about men this, men that. It's like, none of that describes men. That describes immature males. That describes guys who didn't learn how to be a man. A lot of the problems in society comes from immature human beings. Immature guys and immature females. It does not come from men and women. Men and women are mature. That means they know better. They know right from wrong. And they choose right more often than they choose wrong. So this whole nonsense of like, men do bad things, men do this, men do that, men cheat. It's like, no, men don't do any of those. What you're talking about are immature males. Adult boys is what you're talking about. Guys who have the body of a man, but mentally are not a man, which is why they do childish things like cheat. Because think about it. Because one of the things I do say is that a real man doesn't cheat, right? A real man asks for permission. He's like, hey, I'm interested in having sex with this other one. Would that be okay? If a woman is like, no, I'm not okay with that, then I respect it. But if she's okay with it, then she's okay with it. See, I always say it's better to ask for permission than to ask for forgiveness. A real man asks for permission. Asks like, yo, I find her attractive. Can I have that? That's what a real man does. Now, just like I said, a real man also would respect her decision. So if she's like, no, I'm not okay with it, he will respect that. Just like he respected her enough to ask her. But a fuckboy, a loser, a non-real man will have the sex, right? Because he's selfish, which is not a manly thing to do. Men are not selfish, right? Me wanting to have sex with another woman and asking for permission, of course, it's not me being selfish. One, I'm asking, can I do it? Is it okay? If it's not okay, then of course it's not okay. But if it's okay in the relationship, then it's okay. Right? Some people are in open relationships because they're okay with it. Right? To each their own. But it's just logical to understand that a lot of you ladies be talking about y'all want a good man. It's like, well, a good man would be honest. A good man would be like, yeah, I find that other woman attractive, and if you allow it, I would be interested in pursuing her just for sex, nothing more. And then I'll leave it at that. If you're okay with it, then it's fine. But if you're not, then that's also fine. That's understandable, right? Just like, I would rather if a chick is interested in another guy, she lets me know that she's interested in another guy, as opposed to keeping it to herself, right? Because again, it's about maturity and honesty. So you can tell people aren't mature if you got females out here cheating, you got guys out here cheating. The funny thing I see, like on Fresh and Fit and a lot of these podcasts, is when they ask the ladies, about guys cheating and stuff. They're like, oh yeah, man, men cheat, blah blah blah. I don't want a guy who's a cheater, blah blah blah, right? And it's like, that's fair. And then they ask them like, have you ever cheated? And then they were like, no. And then like a couple of minutes later of asking other questions, then they come back to like, kind of sounds like you're lying about something. And then they'll be like, okay, yes, I cheated like twice. Like, so you have cheated. So you lied about not cheating. That's because we're on a podcast, a whole bunch of people are watching you, and of course you're going to say you're not a cheater, but in reality you are. And that's the thing I see over and over again. You have to understand that females can have the opportunities to cheat more often than guys, because one, y'all the ones who choose when sex happens. Y'all the sexual gender. Y'all are required for sex to happen, and y'all the ones that make that carry the babies, right? So y'all the ones that have to decide who does and does not have sex with you. So if anyone's going to cheat the most and have more opportunities to cheat, it would be the female gender. It wouldn't be the male gender. So far, right now, 80% of guys are virgins. That means y'all ladies are not having sex with a whole bunch of these guys, which means that less, less than 80%. I said it wrong. That means more than 80%. 80%. 80% of guys, since they're not having sex, definitely are not cheating. But here's the thing: 80% of females are having sex, which means when it comes to logic of who's cheating more, it would be the female gender, because y'all the ones having the most sex. Because there's less female virgins than there are male virgins. Now, if the numbers were different and there was more male virgins than female virgins, then it's like, yeah, guys are out here having sex all the time. So yeah, the likelihood of them cheating is very, very high because they're having a lot of sex. But that's not the case. The case is opposite. Females are having more sex than guys. And because 80% of guys are not having sex, that means 20% of guys are having sex, which means y'all 80% of the female population is fucking 20% of the guys. So there's less guys having sex than females are, and females are having more sex with the same guys, which means there's a high mathematical probability that y'all cheating, or I should say that those 20% of guys are cheating on their girlfriend or girlfriends with you, because y'all all sharing the same guys. And since y'all all having sex, because it should be 20% of guys are having sex and 20% of females having sex, because that means one guy per chick, right? 1% of guys with 1% of the female population, but it's not. If 80% of the females are having sex and only 20% of guys are having sex, which means it's not 50-50, that means it's not equal. That means y'all ladies are having way more sex, y'all cheating way more, because how's the percentage going to be 80% versus 20% unless y'all all cheating, right? And guys can only cheat if y'all ladies let them. Like, y'all quick to blame guys for cheating, but the guys are not cheating with other guys. They're cheating with females. So females are cheating way more, and y'all allowing it to happen way more. So if y'all stop with the cheating, if y'all stop having sex with married men, guys in relationships, right? Stop chasing the same guys. Start looking at guys who don't have sex and have sex with them instead, because that's going to change the number dynamic. So it's less likely he's cheating, because you're probably the only person he ever had sex with. Right? Logic. And that's the thing. The maths don't lie, because that's a reflection of what's really going on in the world. So again, stop complaining about chasing a guy, because one, y'all already do, but it's always the wrong guy. You're always chasing the fuckboys, never the real men. Like I said, real men don't chase. Real men are too busy being something of value out here, fixing problems, solving problems, trying to make the world a better place. So they don't have time to play little childish games of chasing y'all. Because the problem is that if a man did chase y'all, you're just gonna treat him like shit, right? You're gonna act like, oh my god, he's chasing me. Woohoo, this is a fun game. It's like, this is not a game. Real men don't play childish games like that. So a real man would never chase. I've never seen a real man chase. Even from my own personal experience, I've never chased. I've never had to. Women come to me. I never have to go to them. I'm available. I make myself seen. I walk around, they see me. So I don't have to chase. All I have to do is accept their advances. Say yes or no. And of course I'd be polite. And that's the thing, I have, females don't take rejection very well. Yeah, and there's guys out there that don't take rejection well either. But oh man, females are far worse when it comes to rejection. But anyway, that's the end of the video.